This story happened in October of 2004, back when I was still a third-year high school student. My friends and I stuck around the school late at night after our annual Halloween party. We had agreed to try my friend's Ouija board. It wasn't the brightest idea, but we needed a thrill. We found a nice spot under a huge narrow tree and proceeded with our half-assed ritual. There were 5 of us, 2 boys and 3 girls. We were all expecting some kind of paranormal contact. Rumors had it our school was haunted, but we've never really experienced anything firsthand, and it was Halloween when all the spirits came out to play. We all wanted to get spooked. Also, we've never seen a Ouija board firsthand before, so we were pretty excited. Our school was an old Spanish colonial house built in the 1800s where the Spaniards still occupied the Philippines. We were in a section of the school that doesn't get used often, located beside a creepy old Jesuit house. People only go there when they needed to use the restroom, store equipment on one of the sheds, or make out with their boyfriends or girlfriends. We sat down in the middle of an open space, with only an exposed bare bulb near illuminating the surroundings. We were all having a laugh, scaring each other with what-if scenarios. It was your typical dumb kids doing dumb things. My friend who brought the Ouija board proceeded to place it in the middle of our circle. If I remember correctly, it was the glow-in-the-dark version. We found it hilarious, but it gave us the ability to see what was written in the dark. Not knowing what to do and going after what we've seen in movies, we all proceeded to place our index finger on the top of the planchette. We sat there looking at each other until one of us said, "What's next?" We didn't know if there was a proper way to start the ritual, plus the board didn't come with an instruction manual, so we decided to just throw it in question. "Is anyone there?" I called out into the darkness. "If there are spirits living here, please talk to us." One of the other girls joined in. We clearly had no idea what we were doing. Still nothing. Not even the slightest bit of wind. One of my friends jerked the planchette and the girl who brought the Ouija board screamed, breaking the silence. We all laughed at how ridiculous it was. After a bit of joking around, we decided to give it another go. We all placed our index fingers on the planchette once more and asked, "If there's anyone there, we would like to make contact." "Don't break the circle," one of my friends jokingly said. "Shut up," I whispered. We were just about ready to give up when the wind started to pick up. The stillness broke and the darkness around us seemed to move. Just a coincidence, I thought. "Okay, don't break the circle," I yelled out. "Is anyone there?" I was excited. It was like a scene from a movie with dirt and dead leaves swirling around us. "Guys, I'm scared," my friend sitting beside me said. "My mom warned me about playing with forces we don't know." We all started to talk to it. "Did you die here? Were you killed during the war? Are you the headless priest that roams these halls? Do you know Jose Rizal, our national hero? Are you a hottie?" my friend giggled. At this point, we were all throwing random stupid questions. Nothing. "This is bullshit. I don't want to do this anymore," my friend said, exasperated. We were all thinking the same. Just then, a group of dogs from the neighboring house started barking at us through the chain link fence. These 6 dogs were growling and showing teeth. We all screamed, and without finishing the ritual, we bolted right out of there. We didn't see each other until after Halloween break, and this is where the story gets creepy. One of the girls told us about a weird experience she had that night after playing with the Ouija board. She had gotten home late after hanging out with her friends from the neighborhood when she realized she forgot the keys to her house. So she called her brother up, who was still sharing a room with her, and what he said crept the hell out of her. He swore she was already home. He claimed to have seen her walk in a while ago, and that she really looked tired and saw her head straight to bed. Creepy, but no need to freak ourselves out, was all we thought. Besides, her brother must have been just tired and seeing things. But then my other friend started telling us about an encounter she had that Halloween night. She was going to her room when the lights started flickering as she was ascending the staircase. Your typical horror movie visuals. Shrug it off to a faulty wiring. But just then she saw the door to her room open, and a dark figure stepped out and stood atop of their staircase. She couldn't make out the face, but she recounted that she couldn't move and felt utter dread as the figure stared down at her. No way. My best friend who just joined in the conversation said in disbelief. Something happened to me as well. He recalled that he was sleeping one night when he woke up feeling really uncomfortable. He described his vision as having TV-like static and a feeling of heaviness surrounded him. He looked around the room and that's when he saw a bloody, charred face with piercing red eyes, grinning at him through the window. I couldn't believe what I was hearing because I had an almost run-in with the death that night. After the ritual, I was sleeping in our sedan on the way home after fooling around with the Ouija board when I felt our car jerk. I woke up instantly. Looking out the window, I found out that we've been hit by a huge oil tanker. I panicked and I leaped out of the car. Luckily, my mom and I survived the crash since the front of the car was a total wreck. I still don't have an explanation why those things happened to us, but thank God nothing happened after that. I've since never gone near a Ouija board.
I live in England, and obviously being English, I'm into football, soccer for the Americans. Me and my friends were having a small football game on a field, but it was muddy, so we went about looking for one with more grass on it. We saw a field, the only cricket field with the chicken pavilion still intact. It was run down, smashed up, spray painted, and full of needles, all round creepy. 2 weeks later, and it's Halloween. Me and my mates like to make my house scary and to scare people and get laughs. Anyways, it was getting late, so me and my friends and 2 girls went out for a walk. We were having a laugh and a joke, and then I suggested that we should go to this old cricket pavilion. It wasn't too far away from our house, about 5 minutes, so it was a quick walk. Well, usually I was carrying one of the girls on my back because she didn't want to get muddy. We get to this gate and I'm on top, about to hop in, and then my mate shines his torch on the pavilion. Nothing but darkness. We walk up to it and we have a laugh and a joke, doing the old, if you are in here, say something. We're all laughing until my friend shines his torch in the opposite room and we see a face of a man. It was bone, greasy hair, yellow teeth, and what looked to be like a homeless, drug-using, malnourished man. He gave us a crooked smile. I always considered myself fast, but never have I ran that fast in my entire life. Let's just say I've never been there since.
I was 14 years old and, believe it or not, I still went trick-or-treating. I was going out with a few friends and my little cousin who was 3 years younger than I was. We left the house around 8:30 and started going to the houses with their lights on and had people in front of them. We went pretty far down the block. We were not even in our own neighborhood anymore and my friends were not excited as my little cousin was about trick-or-treating. We just wanted the candy. Well, I do not even know what was going on with my little cousin's brain. Anyways, my little cousin was going way faster than us and was about 1 to 2, maybe 3 houses ahead of me and my friends. As his older cousin, I should have made him slow down or kept a better eye on him. I was walking down a house driveway after getting some candy from it when I turned my head and I saw my little cousin going up to a house that did not have the porch lights on, so I tell my friends that we should skip the next house and go over to my little cousin so I could tell him that that house had no candy because its lights were off. The minute I stepped foot into that house driveway, I could see my little cousin walking into the house and I could see the face of an old man through the door. I ran up the driveway and put my foot through the crack in the door so he could not close it. When the old man saw this, he immediately pushed my little cousin out the door and slammed the door and locked it. My friends were confused. I told them that me and my little cousin were going home. The police told me that nobody lived or had lived in that house for 9 years.